I've been so excited about the wines from Dinamo since I first started getting them in late 2019, but because of the pandemic, I've never had a chance to go visit the vineyard. I finally made it over there and saw all of it. It's, as you'll see, it's pretty awesome. Um, these are just fantastic values for natural wine that are accessible. They make an orange, they make a rosé. Um, they're so thirst quenching. They have that Danilo Marcucci like minerality and saltiness and stuff and lower alcohol. They're just delicious, brilliant, really beautifully made natural wines that are really accessibly priced. That's crazy. And this is like just how high we are up here and the like the exposure and the wind. This is beautiful.
And you can see the old one and the baby one just right down.
Oh, yeah, down there. Yep. So you can see basically straight ahead. All right, so that's is that where they make the wine down there?
Not yet.
Okay, not yet. Okay. So there's buildings down there. Just above the buildings, you can see they've planted a new baby vineyard that's Massal selection vines, cuttings taken from up here, from this old vineyard. So this vineyard is like 25 years old. This is so steep, this hillside.
Steep.
This is a ridiculously steep hillside.
You don't see the finish.
Yeah, you can't see the bottom there. It goes like straight down. Wow. And then there's old olive trees. It's a particularly rocky vineyard.
Yeah. It's super rocky, and the clay and the sand has great combination.
Clay, sand, and it's all like sedimentary rock,
Yeah,
like
sure.
sort of sandstone, compacted clay. Here's a rock pile of rocks that got pulled out of the vineyard just as they were working. You can see it's all sort of breaks apart in your hands. Probably great for drainage. And then
Now. Taste.
Yeah.
This place is incredible.
It's crazy. So this was planted like 25 years ago, and Danilo was saying that they already had some vineyards and they planted more vineyard to have more grapes, but they were just selling their grapes off to people, to big companies to make the wine. And I don't understand why they picked an amazing location to grow great grapes and make great wine, but it's a terrible place to actually be able to get the grapes out of and work. It was you actually like need a four-wheel drive vehicle to get up here, to get all the way up the ridge. And then I'm gonna just run around the corner because on the opposite side of the ridge here, I think I have image stabilization on. You can see Lake Trasimeno right out there. So they're right on the top of this ridge, right next to Lake Trasimeno, facing the other way here. They have all these old olive trees. They make olive oil. Pretty awesome place. I'm really glad that I finally got to visit Dinamo and see this vineyard after looking at pictures and reading about it. But the project started. Danilo started working with them right before the pandemic, so never had an opportunity. They, as the market for inexpensive, mass-produced wine has decreased, so they were selling their grapes, and they got to a point where just no one wanted their grapes anymore. The price was so incredibly low that it just didn't make sense for them to sell their grapes. And they heard of Danilo and talked to him, and he was like, "Oh, this is an amazing vineyard. These are old vines." And so they decided to try making natural wine. And that's Dinamo. Cool. Now we're gonna go taste stuff. What's that? Is that
Fennel.
sorrel?
Fennel.
Fennel.
Wild.
That was wild fennel.
Yeah, wild fennel, wild mint.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. This was a quick walkthrough of the winery that I did while we were tasting all the current vintages and fermenting wine and stuff. The father of the two kids came in, Danilo Nofrio. He's the old guy with the white hair, and he is amazing. He's like a yogi. He just came in and he was like, I only eat mushrooms and bread and grapes and prosciutto. And then just started talking about foraging mushrooms. And the kids were like, oh my God, we just have to eat mushrooms for like 2 months. He just won't stop with the mushrooms. And at the same time, Danilo was being like, what's the sugar content of this fermenting wine? And Simone, the son, was like, I think it's, and Danilo would be like, have you done an analysis? Have you done an analysis? And so I took the opportunity to go walk around and videotape the winery here.